one man.
Why so serious?
God, I hate my job.
The Batman Arkham series is an incredible playthrough that you should play it like right now. Like, stop what you're doing and play it. Or watch this video to the end, then play it. I'll show you why. This video analysis is going to be cut up into 3 parts. First is going to be Batman Arkham Asylum. Next is going to be Batman City. And then Batman Arkham Knight. Now, I won't include Gotham Knights or Batman Arkham Origins because those are both prequels and sequels. And also, too, they didn't come with the game bundle on the PlayStation Store. From the moment you step through the gates of Arkham Asylum, the game traps you. Not just physically, but psychologically. Now, in this first part, we're going to be talking about Batman Arkham Asylum, as said previously. So let's get right into it. Released in the year of our Lord 2009 by Rocksteady Studio, Batman Arkham Asylum blends tight, satisfying gameplay with a haunting atmosphere to deliver a superhero experience unlike anything before it.
Oh, look at that.
He loves his characters. Hey, Sharpie, you getting my good side? Ah, but heck, they're all good, aren't they?
I like his jokes. This analysis explores how the game's combat, stealth, and exploration systems work in tandem with its oppressive setting, creating a world where every shadow feels dangerous and every corridor echoes with tension. It's not just about being Batman, it's about surviving as a world. I don't know if I'm gonna do the voice or not the whole video. Now, before playing this game, I played another game called Outlast, which is a horror game. I made a video on it, you should definitely check it out. But anyways though, while playing the game, I was scared shitless and it was not fun at all, you know? I don't like horror games. So fast forward me playing this game, I'd come to realize that this game also uses aspects of horror and suspense throughout the game, which makes sense. You're locked in an asylum with crazies and criminals that you fight your way through, as well as superpowered villains. And even though this game is an action-adventure game, it's a Batman game, which is important to note, since if you read any of the comics, Batman is always set in a grim and dark environment. So it really adds to the game, you know? Now, there were other Batman games before this, but this is the first Batman game to do it right. And when I say that, from the combat system to storytelling and atmosphere, this game from Rocksteady Studios will lay the foundation for what the Arkham series would be in the future, and how later in the series will they improve on all aspects of the game, besides the Riddler trophies. That right there, it should have just stayed in this game. There's like 240 of them in this game alone, which is stupid. The story of Batman Arkham Asylum is pretty simple. Joker gets caught by Batman and taken to the asylum, only for Joker to break free and then take over the asylum. It's later revealed that his plan is to make a monster army to take over Gotham City by using the Titan Serum that was used by a scientist called Dr. Young, who worked with Joker by extracting and studying the venom used from Bane, as we see later that he's being held up in the asylum. Obviously, Batman goes and tries to stop Joker, but Joker stops Batman every chance he gets, from kidnapping Officer Gordon to, fighting Bane head on and having Harley fight him as well. But Batman outsmarts the Joker and forces Joker to use the Titan Serum on himself, to then which he becomes a monster, and in my opinion, we get a cool but simple boss fight. Now, the things that I liked about this game were Harley and Poison Ivy. I mean, god damn, look at that. I'm just kidding though. Joking aside, the things I really liked about this game were the core gameplay and the atmosphere and environmental storytelling, and how the synergy between both of those really made this game a great game. Now, the core gameplay of Arkham Asylum can be broken into 3 parts, really. The combat system, the stealth mode, and exploration with level design. Now, starting out for the combat system, you're only given a handful of tools at your disposal, only having your batarangs, grappling hook, and fist. But as you progress through the story and game, you acquire more gear such as explosive gel, the bat claw, etc., as well as combo moves and finishers. Each tool of Batman's arsenal can be used in a variety of ways to take down Joker's henchmen, from using the batarang to make them unconscious, shooting the bat claw, drawing in enemies to, then land a punch, placing explosive gel where enemies will walk by and then detonating them to, quote unquote, make them unconscious, because we'll just go with that. Another thing with fighting enemies is that it really has a good sense of flow while fighting your enemies. For me, I found very satisfying just taking down the enemies, you know? I didn't really feel like I would be interrupted unless, of course, I didn't, press the button in time. But I really had fun just, fighting. In my opinion, I took the whole, going, hand in hand, or going basically full front instead of just going the stealth mode, because for me it was very satisfying and rewarding too, as you also got more points that way as well. As you progress through the game, during the first half, you get introduced to your first Titan enemy, and he's very big. He's basically the heavy hitter, and obviously you get introduced on how to fight him and how to defeat him, which is pretty cool because later on in the game you obviously take on more Titan enemies, and obviously it helps you also set up for how to defeat Bane, like when that comes. Another thing in Batman's arsenal is his detective mode. It's very useful and it is used a lot throughout the game, as it helps you identify where the enemy is by basically having an x-ray of their body. And the neat thing is that it has two variations. A blue one where basically an enemy is just has nothing, his fist, maybe has a bat, a chair, whatever. But then the other silhouette is a red skeleton where they basically have guns. So to me it's nice because it adds a bit of difficulty, although for me I did play this on just the easy difficulty because I just didn't want to get my ass kicked. But besides that, it was very fun, and also it really helped me know who I needed to prioritize first, as obviously you don't want to be beating up a guy who has nothing while some goon has a gun who's shooting at you, and then bam, you're dead, While also in detective mode, you can also see where you can use your grappling hook to perch and get a high viewpoint of your surrounding, which really helps you plan on how you want to take out your enemy. Either taking the stealth route, picking off each enemy one by one, or confronting the enemy, which in turn alerts all nearby enemies to your location, and basically having an all-out brawl in which you break every bone in their bodies. But don't worry, you don't kill them. The level design and exploration is unique and fun, as it works in tandem with the detective mode. As said previously, it highlights the places where you can be able to perch on, but also highlights vents to sneak around in, as well as the breakable walls where you can put explosive gel and then set a booby trap for enemies to then obviously knock them unconscious. And while you play through the game, you see many Riddler trophies that are behind something or in and out of reach places. But while playing through the game, you unlock new gear to help Batman get those trophies. The cool thing about the game is it rewards you for backtracking to those trophies, as each of them gives you XP that helps you get upgrade points to increase health, give new combo moves and finishers, as well as new tools and improve already existing tools with new features. The atmosphere and environmental storytelling is pretty amazing, as it shows more than it tells. While you play as Batman, you experience the gothic, decaying, and claustrophobic aspect of the asylum, and you can see this all over. Arkham Asylum is very old, obviously, as the gothic, structures of it, obviously from the manor. The decaying part, you can see from, each room you go into is just a mess. It's clutter, or there's, blood, there's stains, the tiles are ripping apart, or the walls peeling, And it's obviously the claustrophobic part is, each corner or corridor is just, you don't know what's, on the other side, There's always sharp turns, or the vents where I really like the vents because it makes you, or it forces you to go in first person, which is pretty cool. Now, as you play through Arkham Asylum, you also feel this eeriness of the whole place. From the mansion to the botanical gardens, the sewers, etc. Each area really sets the tone for this game, which is pretty cool. It's very unique. It shows you kind of what each building is used for, but then obviously it shows you how upside down turned around it has become ever since Joker takes control of the place. The sound design and music also really help with this eeriness of the game. Like, when I tell you that the soundtrack is pretty good, I like it. And obviously I kind of toned down the volume a bit because I just like to, hear what the characters are saying. But besides that, the music, in my opinion, is pretty good. The game also adds ambient noises such as whispers, laughter, and crackling that also give a psychological effect to the player, as it makes you weary of your surroundings and make you check behind you for there only to be nothing. One thing I really liked while playing the game were the villain set pieces, as it tells a lot about their personality, in my opinion. As when you fight Bane, you're in a close combat situation where it feels like an arena that you're in, and obviously you have to fight Bane because he is the big tough guy, obviously, Then obviously when you fight Poison Ivy, you're in the Botanical Gardens, where obviously, she controls plants. So that's her whole, gimmick, where she uses plants as offense and defense as well. To add on to the whole psychological effect are the Scarecrow sequences, where, in my opinion, were my favorite parts of the game, as Batman is put under Scarecrow's fear toxin, and you are put through a nightmare where you have to run, fight, and hide your way to the bat signal and face it towards Scarecrow to light it up and then defeat him. The really cool thing about this is, as said previously, it really emphasizes that psychological effect that's put on Batman and you, the player, as you progress through the game. As you get these sequences throughout the game, and it just makes you feel like, is this happening, or is this all part of just a Scarecrow's fear toxin and you're just making it up, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Obviously, we know he's not really all under it all the time, but for me it's pretty cool to add that depth. The synergy between gameplay and atmosphere really bring out the best in this game. And what I mean by that is, well, the gameplay makes you feel like Batman within the world of Arkham Asylum, and you're able to embody that through playing the game, fighting the enemy, pummeling them with each punch and kick, perching over the room and planning your attack cold and calculated, putting fear in the enemy and making them paranoid and disorganized, being a detective mode and trying to follow someone via DNA or alcohol in their breath, and to basically find where they're at. It's pretty cool, since obviously that's what Batman would do. Really, that's how he would be in in any situation. And obviously, while you're doing all that, you just get engrossed by the atmosphere. How every level design is just unique, and obviously it tells you kind of what's going on, and obviously with the before and after of when Joker takes over the asylum. The game gives a good mix of empowerment and uneasiness. As said previously, the music and sound design really help with that uneasiness, but also too, within the game, Joker sees you, he's watching you. Throughout the game, he knows which room you're in, and obviously notifies his henchmen kind of to be on alert, since, he knows you're in the general area of it. And to add to the uneasiness is that when you progress through the game, you can see the deterioration of Arkham Asylum. As obviously in the beginning, when you go outside, there's, armed officers that are, have the situation in somewhat control, but then obviously when you enter a building and you come outside again, you can see that all the officers are dead and that the criminals are basically let loose. Now on the other side of that is the empowerment that the game gives you. Now it's very satisfying when you're able to take out an enemy, but it's more satisfying when you're able to take out the enemy in a multitude of ways and be able to use your environment as well, and just taking over a situation. It's pretty cool, since you're also Batman, and just being Batman is also badass, because you're Batman. In conclusion, buy this game and play it. But in all seriousness though, the gameplay plus the atmospheric design makes this the first successful immersive Batman experience, as shown by success in its 2.5 billion income. Like, god damn, that's a good chunk of change right there. But also, it's a good introduction to the Arkham series, as it lays the foundation for the next few game mechanics and its iconic combat and stealth system. And despite being 16 years old, it still holds up today, and is a very fun game to play. I had lots of fun I had lots of fun playing this game. It really was satisfying. Like, when I tell you, just like, for me, just knocking out the enemies and all that stuff, or just surprising them, or taking them out, or just exploding them and just knocking them unconscious. It was very fun. It's also very short too, but I like that because this game took at least about 7 hours. That's how short it was. Pause. But actually 7 ain't that bad, to be honest. But On a side note, I really enjoyed Joker's jokes throughout the whole game. Like, I don't know why. To me, I found them very stupid, but like, it's just like, that's just stupid. But like, it's a funny stupid, you know? Mark Hamill did an amazing job, voice acting Joker, as well as Kevin Conroy with his amazing ass Batman voice. Like, when I tell you, perfect voice actor for Batman, in my opinion. And I've watched a lot of the DC Batman stuff, animated DC Batman stuff. But yeah. And that's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching to the end. If you did, I highly recommend anybody play this game. It's a very fun playthrough, and if you have the chance to get the bundle, that's even better, since obviously you get to play the whole trilogy. And I'll be making videos on the other 2 Arkham series games later on, whenever I have the chance to get them done, because obviously I'm busy. But in the meantime, I'll upload different videos too as well, so you can be able to watch that or watch the other stuff I posted. And besides that, thanks so much for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Outro!